Welcome to AI World TV, your go-to destination for everything artificial intelligence. Discover the captivating landscape of AI, where advanced technology finds real-life application. Subscribe to AI World TV for webzine articles, reports, podcasts, videos, live events, and latest trends. Hear from top industry leaders and discover how AI is transforming industries and our daily lives.
Artificial intelligence, it's not just another upgrade, is it?
No, not at all. We're talking about a truly foundational change agent here.
Right, a technology that is just reshaping everything. How we work, how we think.
Even how we think about our own future as a species, really.
So if you want to get past those superficial headlines, you really need to engage with the core texts.
Exactly, and that's what we've done. We've done a deep dive into the must-read AI books that have, truly defined 2025.
And this stack of sources gives us a 360-degree view of the field.
It really does. We're going to navigate a whole spectrum from the really rigorous academic textbooks that lay out the mechanics of AI.
All the way to the other end. The stark existential warnings about global risk.
And those hard-hitting corporate exposés about the hidden costs.
So our mission today is pretty straightforward. We're cutting through all that noise to give you a clear map of the current AI landscape.
Yep. We've sorted these reads into 3 essential buckets.
First, the foundational knowledge. Then, the deep philosophical divide that's tearing the field apart. And finally, the corporate reality.
The unavoidable reality of how this stuff is actually being deployed.
Let's just jump right in. Let's start with what grounds all of this, the fundamentals.
Okay, so if you're serious about understanding AI, I don't care if you're a student, a professional, or just curious, you have to start with the academic backbone.
And that means starting with the undisputed standard.
The heavyweight, yeah.
Artificial intelligence, a modern approach. AI Emma by Russell and Norvig.
That's the one. And the sheer scope of this book is just, it's incredible.
It's used in what, over 1,500 universities?
Globally, yeah. That level of adoption tells you something. It's not just another reference book.
It is the standard.
It is. And what's so fascinating about AMA and why it's still the benchmark is its unifying theme.
The intelligent agent.
The intelligent agent, exactly. And this isn't just, a glossary term. It's a brilliant conceptual framework.
So instead of just a collection of different tasks, like image recognition over here, search algorithms over there.
Right. It frames every single AI solution as a rational agent that perceives its environment and then acts to achieve a goal.
So it's less a collection of tools and more a philosophy of problem solving. Why is that so important for you to grasp?
Because it gives the whole field coherence. It lets you tie together these really diverse areas, robotics, game theory, deep learning, all under this one umbrella of rational action.
So it's not just about mimicking human thought.
No, it's about defining and optimizing intelligence itself. And importantly, the sources note that even with all its technical rigor, the book uses uniform pseudocode.
Which means students can actually take the theory and
implement it
Yeah.
in a standardized way. That clarity makes it so valuable.
And that standardization is what turns it from just a theory book into a working blueprint for engineers.
A whole generation of them.
But, for those of us who maybe don't want to dive headfirst into pseudocode, the sources also point to some good starting points.
Oh, for sure. For the absolute beginner, we'd recommend Artificial Intelligence for Dummies. It's now in its 3rd edition.
And it's the ideal place to start if you want a jargon-free introduction.
Totally. It covers the basics, hardware, software, machine learning. And crucially, this new edition has dedicated really clear sections on generative AI.
Which is what everyone's talking about, the systems that create text and images.
Right. Now, moving past textbooks, we need context. We have to talk about history.
And for that, there's Chris Stockelwalker's How AI Ate the World.
This book is so necessary. We tend to think of AI as, a 2010s thing?
Yeah, something really recent.
But he shows its journey goes all the way back to the Cold War.
And that historical perspective is vital because it inoculates you against the current hype cycle.
Exactly. Stockelwalker tracks the boom and bust cycles that have always defined this field, specifically the AI winters.
Those were the long periods when all the promised breakthroughs just didn't happen.
Right. Funding dried up, disillusionment set in, like in the 70s and 90s.
So when you see those winters, you realize the spectacular comeback we're seeing now isn't necessarily a guarantee of, permanent progress.
Not at all. And the book focuses heavily on the ChatGPT effect.
The moment it all went consumer grade.
And the frantic corporate scramble that followed.
And this is where that historical lens gets really critical for understanding today. Walker isn't just narrating history. He's skeptical.
He's very skeptical. He really questions whether the urgent, dire warnings we hear from people like Elon Musk and Sam Altman are purely legitimate concerns, or
if they might be a calculated smokescreen to divert attention away from their rapidly growing power.
which is a huge claim.
It's massive.
Yeah.
The idea that existential fear could be a tool for market control.
And that tension between real concern and corporate motives is the perfect bridge to our next section.
The philosophical divide, where we have to confront the limits of AI right now versus the potential catastrophic risk in the future.
Let's start with the skeptical voice. That would be Melanie Mitchell and her book, Artificial Intelligence, A Guide for Thinking Humans.
Right. Mitchell is the voice of pragmatic caution. She's very careful to distinguish what AI can do versus what it can't.
Her core thesis is so important for anyone trying to make sense of the news. She insists that today's systems, your ChatGPTs, your Midjourneys, are basically just very sophisticated statistical pattern matchers.
Okay, so they're great at finding correlations in huge data sets.
Incredibly good at it. But they fundamentally lack human general intelligence. They lack true understanding.
You are listening to the AI World Podcast, your trusted source for the latest innovations, insights, and trends in artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech, and decentralized technologies. Each episode features expert interviews, engaging discussions, and in-depth analysis of how AI transforms industries worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest articles and exclusive reports from the AI World Journal, covering everything from emerging technologies to industry breakthroughs. For more news, global events, and access to AI World Society circle gatherings, visit us at aiworld.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed, stay connected, and be part of the AI revolution with AI World Lounge. Thank you for listening.
And common sense.
But that's the part that's so confusing for people. If they're just matching patterns, how do they generate such coherent, intelligent-sounding replies?
Well, the distinction is in the nature of intelligence itself. A pattern matcher learns the probability of word sequences. It learns the form of intelligence.
But not the meaning, not the causality underneath.
Exactly. And she uses this fantastic example to make the point. The pronoun resolution challenges.
Oh, right, the one with the trophy in the suitcase.
That's it. Ask an AI to process the sentence. The trophy wouldn't fit in the suitcase because it was too large.
A human knows it, refers to the trophy.
Right. Now change one word because it was too small.
And now it obviously refers to the suitcase. A human gets that instantly.
But current AI really struggles with that kind of basic contextual common sense.
That's the common sense gap.
And that gap is why Mitchell is so skeptical of the coming singularity. She argues those final steps toward true general intelligence are going to take way, way longer than the optimists think.
Okay, so that's the measured, cautious perspective. Now we have to pivot hard to the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
The existential alarmists, the doomers.
We're talking about the urgent clarion call from Eliezer Yudkowsky and Nate Soares. Their book is called If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies.
You can't miss the message there.
No ambiguity at all.
And it's an uncompromising argument. Their core claim is that creating an artificial superintelligence, or ASI,
An intelligence that vastly exceeds human capability
Really?
would almost certainly lead to global human annihilation if we don't solve the alignment problem before it's built.
They're clear. If ASI happens, the competition is over. It would crush us.
And the terrifying part of their argument is that it doesn't require any malice. We're not talking about Skynet from the movie.
No evil, hateful robots.
Precisely. The danger isn't malevolence, it's indifference, it's misalignment. Modern AIs aren't coded with clear rules, they're grown on these massive, messy data sets.
Which means their internal values, their goals are, well, they're opaque, unpredictable.
So if the AI's core goal is even slightly different from human values,
It will pursue that goal with an efficiency we can't even comprehend. And we just become an obstacle.
and that's where the famous paperclip maximizer analogy comes from.
Right.
If you tell a superintelligence to just optimize paperclip production, it won't stop to think about human life or the environment. You would see all the atoms on Earth, including the ones in our bodies.
As potential raw materials for more paperclips. It's extreme efficient indifference. which is honestly a much more terrifying thought than malice.
So what's their solution? It must be as radical as the threat.
It is. They're calling for international treaties to halt or severely limit large-scale general AI development.
We're talking about actual laws, like laws that would restrict how many GPUs can be linked together.
Effectively putting a hard cap on the power of these systems, but the sources also note the heavy criticism of that solution.
It seems politically impossible, right?
Given the intense commercial and military competition between nations, it seems extremely unlikely.
And to round out this philosophical section, there's also the more speculative book, What If AI Surpassed Human Intelligence? By Viruti Sivan.
Right, which focuses less on the when of the singularity and more on the deep philosophical questions of what happens after. How do you even attempt alignment with a post-human intelligence?
It's a lot to wrestle with.
It is. So we've set up the academic framework, we've looked at the history, and we've explored the profound limits and the ultimate risks.
Now we have to ground all of this in the real world. Who is actually building this stuff, and what's the real cost right now?
This takes us to Section 3, the corporate reality,
where the idealism meets the bottom line. And Karen Howe's investigative book, Empire of AI, is just a necessary, hard-hitting read.
This book is incredible. It documents the entire narrative arc of OpenAI, how it went from this ostensibly altruistic, open-source nonprofit focused on safety and sharing.
Right. Their whole mission was to distribute the benefits of AI widely.
And how it transformed into this secretive, hyper-competitive, commercialized global powerhouse it is today. It's a classic story of mission drift.
And the book gives this really complex portrait of Sam Altman and gets into the intense internal conflicts, especially around that brief ousting in 2023.
And that internal drama, it wasn't just office politics. It was rooted in a fundamental split between two camps.
The boomers versus the doomers.
Exactly. The boomers wanted to prioritize rapid product releases, scale, profit. The doomers were all about caution, slow development, and mitigating that existential risk.
And that tension was so severe that it caused co-founders to leave.
It did. They splintered off and went on to found rival companies like Anthropic and Superintelligence, Inc., all focused on AI safety.
But the truly essential part of Howe's exposé, the really sobering stuff, is about the hidden global costs.
This goes way beyond boardroom battles. The book reveals the exploitative use of low-wage gig workers, often in the global south.
The people hired for content moderation. Basically cleaning up all the toxic output from the training data.
And then you compound that with the staggering environmental impact, which just gets ignored.
These data centers are just the relentless consumers.
Massive amounts of water, huge amounts of electricity, often diverted from local communities. These are the systemic costs.
And this leads right to Howe's core critique. She argues that this whole empire-building logic,
this model that centralizes power, talent, and capital in the hands of a few tech giants,
is fundamentally incompatible with their stated mission of achieving broad benefit for humanity.
The profit motive and the quest for power just undermine that altruistic goal.
Okay, so shifting gears slightly. If you're a manager trying to actually use this tech today, you need to get past all that and into deployment reality.
And that's where Sol Rashidi's book, Your AI Survival Guide, comes in. It's the perfect antidote to both the hype and the paralysis.
It's relentlessly practical,
Yeah.
candid, business-focused.
She calls it the scraped knees and bruised elbows lessons. All the stuff learned from real-world failures and successes.
And it's aimed squarely at the non-technical business leader, right? The person signing the checks.
Exactly. And she offers actionable frameworks for things like setting up an AI strategy, picking the right use cases, and, crucially, overcoming the most common obstacles.
We're talking at the frustrating stuff that kills these projects, like terrible data quality.
Because your data is never as clean as the model needs it to be.
And the fundamental problem of getting real executive buy-in when the early results might be ambiguous.
Right. This guide is all about translating AI theory into a competitive advantage for your company right now.
So if we pull all of this together, what's the final picture?
I think the books of 2025 paint a picture of AI at this extraordinary defining moment. The technology is caught in a triple bind.
It lacks human-like common sense.
It's being fueled by this overwhelming, maybe dangerous commercial drive.
And it carries these profound, possibly catastrophic, existential risks for our future.
We've gone from the academic rigor of AI through the AI winters and landed right on the urgent warnings of the Yudkowsky camp.
And then pulled back the curtain on the corporate power struggles and the the undeniable human and environmental costs that were revealed in the OpenAI exposé.
And that exposé really gives us our final provocative thought for you to explore.
Given the massive environmental and human costs that Karen Howe's reporting uncovered,
And the centralized power of the few tech giants building these models.
can the pursuit of artificial general intelligence truly serve a broad benefit for all of humanity?
Or is the current empire-building structure we see today just fundamentally incompatible with that lofty goal?
Something critical for you to chew on as you watch the next waves of progress. Thank you for diving deep with us.
We'll catch you next time.
The future of artificial intelligence is unfolding, and it's happening at AI World Week, the flagship global event for innovation, collaboration, and transformation. This flagship global AI event is designed to connect visionary leaders, trailblazing entrepreneurs, and influential thinkers to explore the endless possibilities of AI. Experience groundbreaking technology that redefines industries and inspires progress. Join thought-provoking discussions on ethical AI, digital equity, and the transformative role of technology in our world. Build meaningful connections that catalyze innovation and drive impact. AI World Week is powered by AI World Society, a global movement dedicated to advancing AI responsibly and ensuring it serves humanity. Together, we're shaping a smarter, more inclusive, and equitable future. Continue your journey beyond the event with the AI World Journal, offering expert insights, in-depth analysis, and the latest trends shaping the AI landscape. This is your opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to transform the world with AI. AI World Week. We invite you to join us and embrace the AI revolution.